Hello, everyone. I'm Rillian from RunningWeb.com, and I'm joined today by my lovely wife.
Yep. Oh my. Okay.
This was actually her idea. We finished our second viewing yesterday of The Lion That Went in the Wardrobe by Logos Theater. And the Branson showing. They're leaving there now to go to DC and then Kentucky. And we thought we should do a review.
Mm-hmm.
So you have seen Horse and His Boy.
Yep.
Once.
Mm-hmm.
Lion That Went in the Wardrobe twice.
Yeah.
And same for me, except I saw Horse and His Boy when it was in Branson twice. And I saw the original Taylor, South Carolina debut of Horse and His Boy. And we thought, I had enough thoughts. Actually, we had enough thoughts after the Horse and His Boy. We thought we should have recorded this.
I know. But life. It was December
It was December.
2023.
Yeah.
I was pregnant. We had a lot
Yes.
going on.
Yeah.
It was just a lot.
Yeah. It was a lot.
If we had spare time, I was napping. So now we have a little more time because it's summer.
A little more time. So, but I
More
thought,
kids, more time.
More kids, more time. Well, but
You just learn to let more go.
Hopefully not ourselves and not the house, but you do let some things go.
Yeah.
But I thought, let's just record it real quick. We had a quick window. We saw the first, saw The Lion That Went in the Wardrobe, and we thought, we got to come back. Especially without our 3-year-old. We went the first time with our 6 and 3-year-old.
Uh-huh. And my mother.
Yep. And
she
her
behaved herself.
Yep. And our 6-year-old son loved it. Our
Did
3-year-old
great.
daughter got through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was glad she saw it, but she knew we were going a second time because we said, we got to go a second time. And she said, I want to stay with my aunt who was watching her. So
it was a little dicey to begin with, right? Like, she told me she wanted to watch The Little Mermaid, and I was like, well, I think it's going to be a little much for you. And then she told me to turn it off because it was scary, but she'd only met King Triton. That was what was scary.
I didn't know
she didn't even get to Ursula.
I didn't know that she's even seen any of it.
Just the beginning. She was like,
Oh.
oh, this, I'm a little too scared. So,
Yeah, okay.
anyways.
So anyway, it was a
it's
family
hard.
outing.
But we kept getting pulled out of the moment the first time because we
Yes.
were trying to.
I missed the wolves going after the beavers because I had to run to the bathroom with her.
Yeah.
So, but we want to get our overall thoughts. So, ladies first.
All right.
Overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts. I was pleasantly shocked at how wonderful I thought it was.
And you knew kind of what to expect because you'd seen Logos Theater before.
Yeah, but it was so moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I never had a single moment where I thought it was cheesy.
True.
Never.
True.
Never.
From the opening scene.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. I thought it was.
The opening scene just gets
so
you.
well done. The opening scene was profound.
Yeah.
And even in fact, we took our nephew this time, who was 12, and he said that was his favorite part.
Yeah. He was expecting a school play, to be fair to him.
Yeah, but no, the beginning.
Yes.
Really, and I think it was just hard to understand what the war was like for society at the time.
Do we want to? I mean, people have read the books. Should we just kind of say spoilers?
Yeah.
We won't give too many spoilers away.
Yeah.
But we'll just it does do. It opens up with air bombing raid at Bush Creek during London.
But they had actual Winston Churchill audio.
Opens. Winston Churchill makes a cameo, which I thought was very
that
very
was
cool.
so clever.
Yeah, it was really good. I thought it sets the stage. It doesn't go on too long. It's very quickly moving, but it sets the stage for all the kids.
It sets the stage for the mindset that the children were in when they left home, and it wasn't just like do businesses, usual.
And I felt like when the Walden movie opened up with the bombing raid, it almost felt like they wanted an action scene. This was it wasn't really done as an action scene. It's an emotional scene.
Yeah.
But I thought the opening was great. My impressions, I loved it. I kept comparing it, obviously, to The Horse and His Boy, trying to decide which I liked better. Mm-hmm. And the first time I thought, I think I liked The Horse and His Boy better. And you were like, no, The Lion That Went in the Wardrobe play was better. Having seen it twice.
But you like The Horse and His Boy better.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges because I like The Horse and His Boy book
So that was
better.
always going to be your little
Yeah,
special.
and it does have my favorite chapter probably in all of the Narnia books is in The Horse and His Boy. But I think that
anyone
overall,
who's ever listened to you before is going to go, we know. That's your favorite chapter.
Well,
in a nice
maybe,
way.
But
No,
I
no,
think
and
that-
I need to say also, I didn't think, because I said I didn't think it was cheesy. I never
Uh-huh.
thought Horse and His Boy was cheesy.
No, but I think that having seen them both twice, I think I think this is the script holds together stronger.
Yes.
I thought overall this was. I mean, I loved both of them. But I really like this one. I heartily recommend it. I come away with this sad feeling that, and I'm obviously a film buff more than like I don't just like run to the theater all the time.
Not you.
I-
The theater.
I love
Theater.
I love film, and I am more of a film guy. But I have this sad feeling that American culture just defaults to, well, it's not really legit unless it's been made into a movie.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wish, because everyone's kind of like, well, we gotta wait for the movie, and that'll be like the movie. That's like and the theater stuff is just kind of like the side thing for theater nerds, right?
Yeah.
And it makes me kind of sad that is kind of how society sees it, because I really think that stuff like this is undervalued.
Yeah.
And it's not perfect, which we'll get to. But I really wish that this kind of stuff were more mainstream, and I wish more people were seeing this stuff. Because I have some friends who've seen the movie. I know they're not going to see this play.
Well, as an example, we took my dad the second time.
Yes.
Who
And he-
wanted to go. And he, to give a very short background, he, for one, will not watch a movie that's longer than an hour and a half. That's too much.
Like if it's
for him.
95 minutes, it's
Because
like,
this
well,
was, is it 3 hours with the intermission?
about, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like 2.5 hours
And
plus an
he
intermission.
is a really hard sell on pretty much anything. Like, we can go to the best dinner of our lives, and he'll be like, it was okay. And it's like, oh.
Two
but
on a scale of 1 to
we
10.
were driving back, and I said, what did you think of it? And he said, I really, really liked
He
it. I
did.
was shocked.
He is impossible to please.
He's not this
He
sort
doesn't
of,
complain.
no offense to him,
He
but
doesn't
he's not
complain,
this sort of
but
person.
he just won't. But he'll just like be silent, and you just know.
He's also never read the books,
Never
which
read the
I
books.
thought was that's really a great,
Yes.
that he could follow it,
Yeah.
and he enjoyed
He
it.
did see the Walden film, I think.
Yeah, but
He
like,
said he did,
a
but I-
really long time ago.
And you know what? I don't think it made any impression on him.
No.
And he's like, yeah, it was
No.
okay.
So yeah, so I thought
I
that
think he
was,
liked it, yeah. As a non-book reader, I think he liked it better than the movie that he'd seen now,
Absolutely,
20 years ago
he
now.
did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he really liked it. So that was very profound.
Yeah, I feel like I
thought.
just keep
High
going
praise.
on and on about it.
Yeah.
Because I was, the second time, I was like, there were certain things, I almost wondered if they changed the script. I'm sure they didn't drastically from the first viewing a couple weeks ago to now. But certain things like it felt like the pacing in the professor's house was way too long the first time, and then watching the second time, it felt way better. I don't know why. Maybe I was just looking at it differently. I don't know. Overall, I thought it flowed well. I thought the acting was good.
It was excellent. And not just for something, you know how sometimes when things are like
You got to lower the standard.
faith-based, yeah, we're
It's
like,
a faith-based
all
production. Or,
right,
oh, hey,
for
they don't have a
that.
big budget.
But no, for just in general, I think it would stand up to certainly any theater I've seen. And the thing that you talked about earlier is how it's so cool how each time you see things that are live, they're a little different. And they're
Yes.
their own animal. And that is
Yeah.
really, it's
The
such
lines are
it's so-
delivered a little
and
differently.
it's well, and we had a different White Witch
We did.
both times.
Yep.
That was
so
so
Nicole
fun.
Stratton, who is the artistic director and kind of the new term is showrunner these days. She is basically the showrunner for all these productions. She was the White Witch the first time, and actually I found out this actress had just finished a one-woman play performance in
Oh.
Taylor, and so she's been doing that until very recently. So Nicole was still in town, I think, but we had a different White Witch.
She did good too.
Yeah, I was talking to one of I think it was the Pevensey mother from the beginning. She said, "Oh yeah, some people get irritated at that."
What?
I said, "I love that. I like." I
Who
said, "I
would
would."
get irritated.
I'm glad I saw Nicole
Yeah.
do the White Witch.
Yeah.
I would have been disappointed if I had missed out on her because I would
Yeah.
have been just so curious.
Yeah.
But having seen it twice, I like the variety. I like when little things are changed
Yeah.
up, and I get to see it multiple times. That's one of the beautiful things about theater that film just won't ever have.
Mm-hmm.
I intentionally put our family on a different side of the stage of the floor.
Right.
So we were at a different part of the audience. We had a different angle. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that theater can do that other productions can't. For those who have never seen it, so just so you know, as we get talking into like the sets and the scenes, so in terms of the style, I've seen like a few really professional plays, and in terms of sets, there's kind of a a range of style. There's like an extreme minimalist style, which I've seen some, and it can work really, really well. Where imagine like the setting is two people in an apartment room, right? Or whatever. They're just in a house. It could be a really majestic house, whatever. And the set is a table and a chair, right? And that's your set, right? And everything else is just black. And that can be done. That's a very minimalist style. It can be done really, really well. And then there's kind of like the full-blown production style. There's a theater in Branson that does that. Sight and Sound Theater.
Yeah.
You go, and if it takes place in a village, you'll have multiple two-story buildings.
And it's almost immersive there.
Yes, it's like two-story buildings, and then you'll have paintings of more buildings in the background, and there's fire, and then you have the sunset is painted onto the wall on the back. Yeah. Kind of a full they've
maximalist.
Yes, they good. Yes, perfect. Maximalist. This is firmly in between. Would you say?
Yeah.
Like the sets are really creatively done. There are pieces of stairways and things that they do that are very ornate.
It is so
very
cool. They did things that I didn't even consider to be things. Like they have these doorways that they're constantly moving as people walk through them, and they're moving these stairs, and people are walking up and down them.
They have like a walkway and different stairways.
It was for the professor's house,
yes.
and it made it feel huge.
Yes,
it was magical.
I got a sense in this play that, which this again, theater can do things that film just can't. You get a sense in this play that the house was bigger than, say, in the movie.
Yeah.
Which actually feels, even the director afterward felt bad because he felt like he made it too constrained.
Right.
Because he wanted it to be bigger, and it just ended up feeling very cramped.
Right.
Like it's almost a kind of a small house.
Right.
Or not very big anyway.
Right.
But yeah, the stuff that they did with...
Because this was a house you could get lost inside.
Right. And you definitely get that.
It felt like that.
Yeah, and when you step back, it's not that many set pieces, but they do a great job.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah. Okay, we keep going on and on and on. Let's go over 3 things we like. 3 things we obviously loved it. 3 things, we are kind of nitpicking. And these will be kind of nitpicky things, but let's do 3 things we would kind of nitpick over.
I don't know.
We'll start with 3 things you like.
Okay, 3 things I like. The first thing, the beavers. They were so...
Everyone likes the beavers.
Good. No, but they did them perfectly. Yes. No notes. I'm serious. Yes. They did it so well. They were the beavers. They were exactly how I would imagine them. And they were the perfect
We thought they were a married couple. The actors. We thought the actors thought this
Our apologies. They were not.
They are not. They are not to each other.
Yeah. But it was just the way they did it. They did the most superb comedic relief, but it wasn't forced, and it didn't take away, because that's who they were in the book.
Yes.
They kind of lightened things up.
Yes.
And
the jokes are very much in keeping with the book, as opposed to
totally.
Like one of my pet peeves with the Lord of the Rings film is they turn Gimli into comic relief. He's just not comic relief in the book, and they just turn him into comic relief. Here, it's the jokes about the sewing machine and them being in a rush to get out. It's all the things that are. It's in that same kind of theme.
Oh, it was so good. They were perfect.
Yes,
they were wonderful.
I thought it was really good.
Yes,
the actors were good. The costumes were very effective.
The costumes were so creative, and the way they creatively used them it was so
You've
cool.
never seen the BBC version, which has what we
call... We probably should have started with my background on Narnia, which is...
I evangelized you.
Yeah. When we first started, I don't even think we were dating. We were talking. Because
we were friends.
We were friends.
No, we were dating.
Well, but I had never read the books. I never read the books. And then I... committed a terrible sin, and I read The Magician's Nephew first.
That darn number 1. Gotcha.
I was confused, and I thought I was like, oh, look, I'm taking an interest. And no, I have never seen any of that.
You have seen the Walden films.
Well, yes.
The two Walden films.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen so the BBC version had what we call the bowling pin beavers. Because they walk around like they look like bowling pins, like they could just knock them down.
But that's kind of how beavers are.
Yeah, well, they're they could barely move. These costumes were very effective because they can move quickly, and
they were just perfect.
The costumes were great. The costumes never overwhelm the acting.
No, all the costumes were very well done.
Tumnus, I like the centaur, the way the centaurs, okay, this is how they're doing the centaurs. They do centaurs a little differently, but it's like they don't have an awkward
but they're totally believable.
Two-man cost, yes.
You don't even have to suspend disbelief.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, there it is.
The dwarves.
Yeah.
Dwarves were great.
So the beavers were my first one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one that I really liked is I felt like and this was a deviation from the book, but when Edmund returns, he is seen with Aslan crying, and he's saying he's sorry.
It's yeah,
and
it's a different
was
effect.
Perfectly done.
Yeah,
and that it was necessary, I
Yeah.
think, for the way it was on stage and the pacing. It was so well done, and it showed contrition, and and they still included the part like you need not speak of him, or you know what has happened, but the way he reconciles with each of his siblings, and that was because otherwise I think it would have been hard, especially if you're someone who's not familiar with the story, to then accept that Aslan dies for him.
I agree. I think that it would come off as underappreciated. And I think that there's certain things, like, again, a book can do that a movie or a play can't. A book can just say, I mean, you can have a narrator. There's a little bit of narration overhead in this, not much. Like, a book can just say, at that point, he became
But I thought the narration was always really well done.
The narration is very selective. There is some narration.
It was helpful.
It's helpful. There's like probably, I can think of two points where there's a voiceover, and maybe three, right off the top of my head. The opening, the professor's house. Like, they do that once upon a time. There was 4 Pevensey children. The professor's house, and then Father Christmas gets some narration. But it's very good. Yeah. What's your number 3?
Oh, I thought they did Aslan's death and resurrection
I'll just say that's one of my 3. They nailed the death and resurrection.
Oh well. But they did some truly magical things that I cannot figure out how they did them.
I actually like magic tricks. They basically did magic tricks.
Truly.
They did magic tricks multiple times.
Yes.
For the Turkish delight and the hot drink. They do magic tricks for that. But the Aslan's death and resurrection scene.
It was so well done. It was so moving. I cried. I'm not a crier.
She is not. I am a crier.
Yeah. You got teary-eyed when I mentioned Edmund crying.
I did just now. I didn't get teary. I got glassy eyed.
Okay.
I got glassy eyed. There's no
I'm
tears.
just like, but yes, it was so well done. It was so powerful. It was so moving, and the actresses that played Susan and Lucy,
they're really
they were in it.
They're
I mean,
really
they were
good.
Truly crying. They did it so well.
Yeah.
So I loved that.
And I think that's a hard scene too. It's hard to do a long scene of just people being sad.
Yeah.
It's basically dialogue just from the book. There's not really much.
It can get a little tiresome. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Like, okay, move it along. Right.
But no, it was so well done.
Yeah.
And you felt it.
The whole audience felt it.
The weight of it.
The
and
whole
then everyone
audience
cheered.
Yes, the whole audience
spontaneously cheered.
I think that
was so...
here's something that some people, especially people who have read the book, or even if you generally know the story, because it's a famous story, a lot of people know, okay, Aslan, he's the Jesus figure, he dies, he comes back. If you go to this play, you will know in a general sense what will happen, but you truly don't know how it's going to be depicted. That's where a lot of the fun and surprise is. And like, I thought, without giving anything away, I thought that the death and resurrection scene was going to be, okay, there's the Aslan. Everyone knows it's a giant puppet. It's very well done. We can talk more about that. But the puppet, okay, it's going to be dead, lying still on the stone table. Fade to black. You'll hear a thunder sound, and then they'll switch out the stone table for a broken stone table, and then the lion will be standing there, and yay! I thought that's what was going to happen. I really did.
Yeah.
And that is not at all what happens.
No, you see it all.
It's amazing.
And you're like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
And if we're going to talk about magic tricks, the other one that was so profound is when they spin the wardrobe.
Oh, yeah.
And especially when Lucy first goes to Narnia, it was so, I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
The second time I figured out how they did it.
Yeah.
But it is really good.
Don't give it away.
Well, I won't. But, don't even say what's depicted. Okay.
Because I don't know.
I'll just say that the way that and this is consistent with Horse and His Boy too, rather than just having figures in black, like a black mesh, switch out costume pieces, set pieces like a lot of places, a lot of productions will do. This has the actual characters.
Yeah.
Switch out. And it's very effective because, like, in the professor's house, who's switching out the set pieces? It's the maids and the butlers, right?
Yeah.
They're switching out the set pieces. It's the wood nymphs and the dryads and the naiads that are switching out the pieces in Narnia.
Yeah.
And so it emphasizes the transition. It's very, very good. Oh, what was I going to say? I had something I forgot. Well, here's my three things. I said the death and resurrection scene.
So good.
It's the only adaptation I've seen that's nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching the movie. I felt guilty. Like I should feel sad. I should feel. It's like, hey, this is supposed to be the scene, right? I was like, it's supposed to be the sad scene, and then he comes back. This is supposed to be the exciting scene, but it's just not.
Well, because they made it more action based. It wasn't about that. Yeah. And like you said, this was the true.
This is the climax of the story. I mean, they do have the battle scene with the witch and all that, but in terms of a narrative structure, the build up is the death and resurrection of Aslan. That is the high point of the story, like it is in the book, and everything else follows from that. It's not a lead up to Peter being victorious in battle,
right?
So the structure and the flow, they nail it at the end of the movie. It's or at the end of the see our brains just go to movies. With I do have one criticism towards the end I will mention. Three things are like, okay, this ties in with the death and resurrection. What they get right, Aslan. It's the puppet, and I'll say puppet, for lack of a better word. The look of it it's perfect. It's got this. Not a neutral face, but the face it doesn't change expressions, but you
feel like it's changing expressions.
You feel like it changes expressions.
The puppeteers, it's incredible.
Yes.
How it's just like truly like some people who have honed their craft in a way that's just honestly, I felt like, I mean, this is going to sound dramatic, but honored to behold it. It was so well done.
And the voice of Aslan is Nicole Stratton's late father.
Yeah.
He's deceased now, who kind of founded the Logos Theater.
The perfect voice.
I think Aslan's, it's hard to get a perfect voice.
No, this is the best one I've heard.
You think it's the best? I haven't heard it.
I
would say there's none better.
Do you think yours was the best?
What?
Remember?
Well, from this high school play. Yes, I played Aslan, and I wasn't even in high school. I just graduated, and the local high school, clawed me back. No pun intended. Like, we're going on stage in 3 or 4 weeks, and our Aslan got cold feet and quit.
Yeah.
And the White Witch, who's a friend of mine, and who's like 1 year behind me in high school, she's about to graduate. She's like, "Can you be our Aslan?" I'm like, okay, fine.
So you were the best Aslan you've ever heard.
If
you do say so yourself.
No. I think Aslan's almost. It's like, how do you get Aslan right? Right? It's like who you get to play Jesus? You know, it's like so I think that there's none better. I mean, I think Liam Neeson did a good job. I don't think of him as a perfect Aslan.
Well, I think probably for me, it's that I don't recognize his voice from anything else. That's probably true. He you don't think of him like imagine if you heard like the voice of Winnie the Pooh, like voicing something else, you'd be the whole time thinking like,
right.
Wait.
Or if it's James Earl Jones, who's like, you think that's Mufasa,
or
know. So that's the problem. But no, I thought the delivery was very good. I thought he's a really good Aslan. Mm-hmm. I thought he was better in this one than The Horse and His Boy. As far as just the delivery, it's the same actor. But no, so I thought the way they do Aslan, the size, the expressions, you can see the 3 puppeteers inside him if you look, but you're never distracted by it. And our 6-year-old has been backstage 3 times. Mm-hmm. He has seen The Horse and His Boy once, Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe twice, and he asked my wife the other day, how do they do Aslan?
Yeah. he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He still doesn't know that there's 3 people inside him.
They completely fade away.
Yeah.
It's all Aslan.
Yeah. The puppeteering is.
And it's not just like what they're wearing, but it's like they embody him.
Yes. Aslan is
and his
so
size
well
is so perfect.
The size is perfect.
He's huge.
It is huge. I mean, it's the size of a small elephant.
But I mean, he's huge. And his mane, that is so good.
Yeah. For some of you, if you have seen now there's a lot of pictures floating around of the Logos Theater Aslan now. It is a different Aslan than they originally did when they first debuted with Prince Caspian. They went with a very kind of Art Nouveau, abstract, almost like a tree-like Aslan, where his mane is made of leaves. And they've gone to a more lifelike version, but it's still very abstract in a lot of ways.
It's still artistic.
It's very artistic, but yeah, Aslan is just so well done, and he's the proper central character. The third thing I'm going to say I like is the sets. I feel like the sets are almost my favorite character. They're almost a character.
So good.
The
Well,
sets
the
and scene
second time I
changes.
watched it, I really tried to not focus on the main stuff and look at all the different things. And there's so many little Easter eggs in
Oh,
it.
there's a lot.
So many little things that they put in there that I just love. The attention to detail is just so well done. Just they have like little lions in the background of like all throughout the professor's house and on like different parts of the set, or that picture that they have.
Yes, they have a painting
that they say reminds him of his childhood.
Yeah, there's a professor has a painting in his house that fans would notice. Even like at the coronation scene, there's stained glass windows.
Yes.
And I didn't notice it the first time.
No.
But the second time, each stained glass window is themed for a different Pevensey based on...
And you totally know who's who.
Yes, you know exactly who's who.
Yeah.
But it's themed for each Pevensey. And I was going through, okay, that's... Because it's based on like the gifts from Father Christmas.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, but wait, where's Edmund? And then I saw which one was themed about Edmund. I won't give it away. But I thought, oh, that's perfect. Okay, so it's the different gifts, right, for each stained glass window.
But he didn't get a gift.
He doesn't get a gift.
Right.
So the window is is the scales of justice.
Yeah.
And it's really...
And it looks like stained glass. And
that's
so
his name,
good.
King Edmund the Just.
Right. So good.
Yeah. There's lots of really good things. And again, they make it realistic, but it feels like you're watching a story, magical. Like the backgrounds, they're not going to use a photo, but they'll do like a painting. But then if you look closely, the painting will be moving. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
They really add to it, and I never feel like they take away.
Yeah, and the set changes, they make the set changes kind of part of the story too.
Yeah.
Especially for when they're going from the wardrobe into Narnia.
And it's kind of amazing because there's never any awkward pauses. Mm-mm. There's never any waiting. No. There's never any lull. Mm-mm. It's just so good.
Yeah. They really understand, I think, what theater can do. That you get a unique experience that you're just... Like, I almost feel like with The Magician's Nephew, I almost don't want to see a film of it because I think, how would you possibly do the creation of Narnia? But I feel like they could do it. I feel like Logos Theater could do The Magician's Nephew and the creation of Narnia. I feel like it'd be a challenge, but I feel like there's some things that they could do that a film couldn't. But anyway, so if we were to nitpick, should I just go?
Yeah.
I'll just go.
Okay.
And again, this is nitpicking. You feel like I shouldn't even say things.
No, I don't. I feel like...
And this is nitpicking.
Get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Well, but like, just so people don't think we're completely shilling for them.
All right.
But... Like, for example, I thought there were a few things. I do feel like they are truly trying to draw from the book and not just imitate the film.
I really appreciate that.
There were a few things that maybe they came to the decision independently about. I almost wonder if the film subconsciously affected it. Like, for example, the scene of Aslan bringing life back into the creatures at Aslan's castle. Or, sorry, with the witch's castle.
Yeah.
It's very short in the film. It's very short here. It kind of comes... It's almost a blink and you miss it.
Okay, that is the one thing, if we were to nitpick. I felt like how they got there from the resurrection.
Yes.
And I don't know exactly, like, what could be done differently, but it was a little... Whoa.
Yeah, I think they want to keep the momentum
right,
going.
Like,
I get
hey,
that.
we're back in business.
Yeah, I think they don't want those slow moments. And it really doesn't have any slow moments from the death of Aslan to... when the witch dies, there's no downtime. There's nothing really slow or feels.
But how they actually did it, like how they made
the
Aslan,
way they did it is good.
Even though obviously you can't see his breath, but the way they moved him,
the way they do it is really
very
good.
well done.
But there was just a few things where like I thought that like that moment, or there were just a few things where I thought, okay, that's kind of similar to how the film did it, and not in my favorite way. Not often. Even like. So the Barbara Kellerman is the famous White Witch from the BBC Narnia. The portrayal of the White Witch is very similar in terms of the style of line delivery. It reminds me a lot of that, and it's not my favorite. I love the visuals of the White Witch. I really thought the White Witch was visual, but done visually really great. But some of the styles in almost like the acting style, there were a couple points where I was like, okay, this reminds me of some other stuff, and it just doesn't...
How do you think of the White Witch when you read the book?
When I read the book, I think of her as very cool and calculating.
I think
and
of
not
her
losing
as
her cool.
Almost like I don't
rarely
want
out
to
of
say
control.
the wrong, but like kind of on the other extreme of Aslan. Like Aslan is powerful not because he's loud and boisterous and like, you know, charging in, but just because of who he is. He is also calm, cool, and collected, but he's good. But she is calm, cool, but deeply evil. And that's how when I read the books, that's how they were kind of like these like different, like similar, but so different.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And that like to where when I first read the book, I almost thought, is this like a good witch? Because I didn't know anything.
Right.
The White Witch. Like, I don't know. You know, and so that's probably just maybe our own impressions of it. But
part
that's,
of,
you know, not to play her so obviously evil. But I don't know how if that would read right to an audience, particularly if you're catering to people like in Branson. Like, there were all sorts of people in the theater who I'm going to guess that was probably their first exposure to know. If I were just reading books by their cover, you know, or judging them by their cover, rather.
Like the scene where Edmund, she welcomes Edmund onto the sledge. It's like, okay, she's obviously evil. Right. And I don't read her that way in the book.
No.
I mean, in the book, you know she's obviously evil. It's kind of obvious, but like it's not obvious to Edmund. I'll put it that way. It's not supposed to be obvious to Edmund. It's supposed to be more...
Right, that's why he goes back to her.
Right, that's why he goes back. That's why he's enchanted with the Turkish delight. It has an effect, but it's kind of like, okay, in the book, it's a little more believable that Edmund would get on the sledge. That's the kind of, again, nitpicky. The other thing, so this goes to my background.
It doesn't take away from it at all. It's not like you're watching the whole time like, oh, this is, you know, not at all. But
the other thing I would nitpick probably is the fight choreography is weak. And this is where I have to get into my background.
Yes, so you have to give your background.
I started doing competitive and historical fencing and some theatrical fencing when I was 15. So I had a lot of experience in it.
And you've performed at Renaissance festivals?
Yes, I was not LARPing, but I was doing live steel demonstrations and actual historical rapier and some broadsword fencing.
In a costume.
But with modern protective gear.
But a good costume. You always want people to know.
A good costume. There were no tights.
Yes.
I refused. I drew the line at tights. I never wore tights.
And you did for that book signing.
That's true. I did a demonstration. So Carrie Elwes, who starred in The Princess Bride, he had a book that came out, and he welcomed our group to do kind of a fencing demonstration at his book signing, which was very cool. Got to meet Carrie Elwes.
So fun.
One of the genuinely nicest people.
Yes.
Just a little tangent. Carrie Elwes, if you meet him, he makes you feel like you are way cooler than he is.
Yeah, like you're the
you're the person he is blessed to meet.
And I don't think it's fake.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you have a lot of opinions.
I have a lot of opinions about fight choreography.
You have swords on your wall.
I have swords on my wall.
On our walls.
On some they're not all. And then some of them are carbon steel for like fighting, not stainless steel. But all that to say, those are some things I thought. Okay, and again, it's a small nitpicky thing. There's not actually a whole lot of fighting in this because it's not.
And maybe they knew it wasn't their strongest suit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
So that's something I nitpick, and it may not stand out to other people. It stands out more to me.
But that being said, you are available.
Actually, I was thinking of a friend of mine.
Free consulting.
So I was thinking about one of the guys I used to fence with, who was a very good saber fencer.
Yeah.
And that was his path. He dove into theatrical fencing, and he is like part of the Actors Guild and Stuntman's Guild, and that is his life, is just doing stunt choreography, and it is an art form. It's hard to find out, and to be fair, it's not like even Hollywood doesn't really have a lot of good choreography. It's actually a lot of
clever editing.
No, well, yeah, that's what they use to cover it up. But actually, the few times that you have really good fight choreography, like The Princess Bride, or The Mask of Zorro, or The Lord of the Rings, it stands out, and it's like this few selection of films that stands out. And what I will say is the action scenes, broadly speaking, for the stage, the presentation of the action scenes is very well done.
It's not terrible at all.
No. I mean, it's actually excellently done. It's just the individual combatives I had an issue with. But the overall presentation... Not that it was bad,
but that it could be a little better.
No, here's what I'm saying. Is like the individual combatives, when the actors are fighting, the choreography was weak. It's a weak point. But the overall, like the presentation of the timing, the music, the lighting,
Yeah.
the props, the setting.
They
the
also
way,
had a lot of
writ
different
large.
little fights going
Yes,
on.
like the sum is greater than the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
You also do
It's
get
like
the idea, though, that there are a lot more people in this battle
Yes.
than are actually on the
Yes.
stage, and that is hard to do.
Yeah, they do a
did that
really good
very
job.
well.
Like the battle scene at the end, it's short, but it's exciting. It's one of the most thrilling parts in the play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I didn't. Like, honestly, the battle scene I look forward to each time because it's one of my emotionally. It's just one of the best parts of the play. The payoff is so good. The music is great.
Even
it's
how
really
when they
thrilling.
have Aslan return,
Yes, the way Aslan returns.
that is so well. You know he's coming, but it's still like it's powerful.
The White Witch's presence in the battle is really great. That whole
Her
sequence.
wand breaking.
My favorite, if I could, like, if I were to select, like, go back and just throw myself back into the audience for only 15 minutes, it would be basically from the death of Aslan to the death of the White Witch. That sequence is so masterfully crafted.
And it's at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, and a lot of times when you're seeing something live at the end, especially in this day and age when we live such a fast paced and, you know, like people don't want to watch like reels, you know, that because they're too long and
Right.
things like that, you really are not wanting it to end.
I
You're
didn't-
not
yeah.
thinking about how long you've been sitting there. You're not thinking about. And
Did you look at
are
a clock
so-
one time?
No.
I never did.
No. And you're just.
The only time I'm looking at my clock the whole time was during the intermission because I wanted to make sure I'm not late to
Yeah.
get back in during the
You had to
15-minute
go buy your
intermission.
gear in the gift shop. But I think that's
I got a
very
t-shirt,
well
not
done.
gear. Our son got a shield. He got an Aslan shield.
It's very good.
It's very good.
But you really don't feel like. But a lot of times when I'm at a live production, kind of towards the end, it gets maybe a little bit grueling. But I didn't feel like that at all. I felt like I didn't want it to end. I felt like I wanted to see more. I wanted it to keep going. I was like ready to start the next book, you know? Like, it was very well done.
Yeah.
You know, like they could have rolled right into Caspian's next, right? Prince Caspian.
Oh, our poor 6-year-old. We told him we were going back to the Narnia play. And and it's like probably the day before.
Because the first time we went was on his birthday.
Yes,
like
we went on his birthday.
We knew
Yeah,
that like
and
he
we
wanted
had
to
just
go.
finished The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe, and we were reading Prince Caspian, and he finds out we're not going to go see Prince Caspian. He says, "But it's the next book. Why aren't we seeing Prince Caspian?" Well, sorry, buddy, it doesn't work that way. But it was so fun for our 6-year-old because he even today he said, "Daddy, were those kids really named Peter, Susan, Edmund, Lucy?" And I was like, well, you know, it's like, and it's hard to know what to tell them because I don't want to spoil.
They did so well too. Especially, I mean, I feel like they all just really did a good job.
The acting writ large is really, really good. We had our favorites. The Beavers are my favorites, and I appreciated Lucy and Susan more the second time.
She plays it.
Lucy was good, but the second time I appreciated her even more.
Yeah.
I thought that.
We almost named our daughter Lucy.
We thought very seriously.
Very seriously.
Yes. Today, our kid, now she's still pretending she's Lucy today.
That's what she wants to be for Halloween. Lucy.
Lucy. Yeah, we were told today, I was told I'm Miraz. My wife is the White Witch.
Always. I always have to be some sort of.
And our 6-year-old is Caspian. And our 3-year-old, she said, I'm Lucy. Then he said, well, what about, and he said, well, and then we asked, what about the 1-year-old? He said, he can be Weepateep.
Weepacheep. Yeah.
So.
He kind of has that spirit.
Always getting into stuff.
Yeah. The busiest of bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel, So, in conclusion, I felt like, you know, I will say, especially, like, really starting with Prince Caspian, I felt like whenever I was recommending to a book fan, hey, go see this movie or something, I felt like I had to caveat it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, go see it, but be prepared for this, be prepared for that. I don't feel like I have to really do that.
We were almost evangelical after we saw this the first time with people we told. It was like
I was
the
texting
good
guys.
news.
Like, I was texting one of the guys in my Bible study. His kids are the
but
same
even
age.
still today, you've been emailing people because it's going to DC.
Mm-hmm.
And people
I told
that
one of my friends lives in DC. I
Yeah.
said, you've got to go see this.
Yeah.
I said, take your kids.
And these are men. But yeah, I just thought, and we also have to say, I think as an aside, that the cast and crew are delightful.
Oh yeah.
Everyone we've interacted
We did
with,
backstage
they
passes.
never, because think about how, like, I feel like this would be kind of exhausting,
Yeah.
you know, to do this. They're doing it 2 shows a day,
Mhm.
not every day, but a lot of days out of the
Yeah.
week. That would be exhausting, but they are all
They
so
did.
kind.
They had something recently. They did 3 shows
No,
in a day.
that's
They did 10:30, a
insane.
2:30, and a 7 p.m.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No thanks. That's amazing. But
Yeah.
they're all so kind. They
Mhm.
never they just seem so genuine and that they are happy. Look at that.
Notifications.
My phone's on airplane mode. So,
Well,
but they're very kind. And
That's
they
what I
gave
get.
us backstage passes.
they did. They were super nice to us.
Like they just cuz you posted that we were coming.
Yeah.
Didn't ask.
No, I did not
That
ask.
would be wooed as
Yes.
our 3
No, the
I
Logos.
think that would be wooed.
Logos folks were so nice, so gracious, just
They're
all
kind.
genuinely.
And the theater
nice.
is really good. Where they did The Horse and His Boy was a different theater, and I
Mhm.
think this theater's better.
Yeah, this one's better. This one's
So
kind of
good.
getting ramped up for another production.
So good.
And, it was at the Welk, the old Lawrence Welk Theater.
Mhm.
Now it's I think the Welk Resort, but yeah, no. And we would have gone without our 6-year-old too. We would have gone just like as a
Yeah.
date night kind of thing. Yeah.
It was very good.
Very good.
I'd go see it again. Today's the last day,
Yeah.
so we can't.
Yeah,
But
we
I
have family
would.
in town, but we would. Yep. I'll just say, especially because for any of you looking at tickets, my first impression was I thought, oh, these tickets are expensive, and then after we saw it, we thought, well, we're going again.
Yeah.
You know, totally worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it. And you. Although now it feels like going to the movies is like you spend hundreds of dollars. But no, it's worth it. It's a great experience. They're going to be in Kentucky. No, they're going to be in DC. This is the last day in Branson. It is August 9th. They're going to DC next. They'll be there through mid-October.
Yeah.
Then they're going to the Ark Encounter in Kentucky.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yep.
They're doing amazing things.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to know. I told you after we saw it the first time, I wish that we lived closer to where they're based so we could get our kids like going to some of their camps.
Oh, our 6-year-old was so
and-
sad
Oh,
after the seeing Lion with the Wardrobe. He said, "Can I come back and be
Yeah.
one of the mice?"
Yeah.
Like, sorry, buddy, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
He goes, I
That
could
was
be one
so
of the
good.
mice. It was yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course who we wanted to meet at backstage yesterday was the mice. That was who we wanted to meet
Oh,
most.
and
he
they
got
weren't
to
there
meet.
the first time.
He got to meet the mice.
Yeah.
And I got a picture of him with the mice. So,
So cute. Anyways, we loved it.
loved it.
We'd go again.
We'd go again.
If it comes back, we'll definitely go again.
Yep, I really hope they bring Prince Caspian here because it's the one I have not seen. Hopefully they would like to do all 7. Hopefully they can figure out a way to do all 7. They've been saying that for years, but they've got 3 now. That's as good as anyone else has done. No, well, the BBC did do 4, I guess technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so wish them the best. It's awesome, great experience, and they're also they improve every time. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I saw Horse and His Boy when it first came out, and I saw it later, and like 3 or 4 years later, and it was much better later. So they're constantly improving their craft.
But still good the first time.
It was good the first time. No, we were
Yeah.
blown away the first time, and then but then later it was like, oh, the script was way better.
Yeah.
The props and the sets, the puppets were better. It was.
Well, and I
they just keep
appreciate that they're
improving it.
willing to keep working on it.
Yes.
That they're willing to keep
Yes.
developing
I
it.
hadn't seen it apparently from the first run of Prince Caspian in 2018, I think, to recently. Apparently, there were major editing changes that improved the story. So I wish I could have seen it,
Interesting.
but yep. So our recommendation: go see it. With or without kids.
Yep. And I think it depends on the kid. Like our 3-year-old, I mean, I think our son at 3.
He
could've
saw
totally
Horse and His Boy
done-
at 3. He
Yeah,
was
but I
fine.
think he could have done it.
Horse
and
and His Boy at
she
3, he
stayed
was fine.
in. She
Yeah,
stayed
she
in.
stayed
It just
in.
took a little
It
bit
just took
more.
some encouraging. She sat on the lap and got some encouragement. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, it was very good.
Yep. So
We loved it.
this was fun. Thanks,
right.
y'all.
Adios. Farewell.
Hey, everyone. This is a quick addition. We decided to have our kids do a really quick add-on on what their favorite parts were of the play The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So, Mr. 6-year-old, lean right here. What was your favorite part of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe play?
When he made the Adam puppet does appear because like real magic.
Yeah. Because he disappears after he dies,
Yeah.
and then he comes back from the dead.
Mhm.
Was that surprising?
Mhm.
Do you know how they did it?
No. Because the professor says the secret.
Oh yeah. So the professor, Noah Stratton came out and he's the executive director. He came out, he plays the professor, came out, did a Q&A, and my son asked how he did it, and he said, it's a magic trick, it's a secret, so he didn't tell him. All right, Miss 3-year-old. You're 3, right?
Mhm.
What was your favorite part?
I didn't like the witch. I just liked when they bowed.
You like when they bow before Aslan? Yeah? You didn't like the witch. Was she scary? Was she a good person or a bad person?
A bad one.
A bad one? What happens to the witch?
Bad.
She died. Do you like when she died? Yeah. Right.
Because he fell on a rock.
Oh, she fell on a rock. Oh, she does fall down, doesn't she? Does Aslan kill her? Does the lion kill her? Yeah. All right. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys. Goodbye, guys.